At any given moment in this country, there are 424,000 children in the American foster care system. That is about the population size of Miami. Foster kids often face shortages of placements, low high school graduation rates, and disproportionately high rates of incarceration and homelessness. And experts are now warning that this overwhelmed and underfunded system will only get worse now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, with the National Foster Youth Institute's Maria Craven telling Axios she's really concerned that this could blow it up. Also, just this week, the New York Times released a new analysis showing that 24 states that have already or will likely ban abortion also have the nation's highest rates of child poverty and infant and maternal mortality. Now, these Republican-run states have some of the harshest abortion restrictions and the least amount of support for children after they are born. Joining me now is the Executive Director of the National Foster Youth Institute, Rebecca Louve. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for joining us. The average placement of children in state care is longer than a year and a half, and 5% of children in foster care are there for 5 or more years. This is according to data from the Department of Health and Human Services. How do you anticipate, or how concerned are you that the end of Roe will lead to longer stays in the system?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm very concerned. We know that the majority of foster children are placed in foster care as a direct result of poverty and neglect, neglect due to poverty. And we also know that many women seek out abortion services because they are unable to afford to care for their children. So we're really concerned that this legal decision is going to overwhelm a system that is already inundated and unable to really care for the children that are currently in it.
How could the end of Roe impact kids already in the foster system, not just those that you anticipate to go in it, but those that are already part of the process?
Yeah, NFYI members are current and former foster youth themselves, and they're concerned that they're not going to have access to medical care and health care that they desperately need. We know that a vast majority of commercially exploited children are foster youth themselves, and to deny them access to health care when they need it is going to further traumatize young people that are already, dealing with in survival mode and have very few resources and limited supports.
Can you talk to us a little bit about just the emotional toll on foster children? What have not just, the system done to, foster youth, but the last couple of years of the pandemic, how that's made it more difficult, what we anticipate the emotional toll of this decision to be on those that are in the system currently?
Yeah, that's a great question. Again, I think this court decision is going to overwhelm the foster care system. Children, when they are removed from their home, are traumatized, right? It's a traumatizing experience. We know that bureaucracies are not doing a great job at raising children. That's why NFYI members are advocating with decision makers around the country to change those outcomes. Foster youth are overwhelmingly placed in juvenile detention facilities, are trafficked out of placement homes. The average wait for a foster youth to be adopted is over 4 years nationwide. So this is going to just exacerbate the already current crisis that the child welfare system is in.
One of the arguments you hear on the right has been that, and it's certainly something that we heard from people like Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who said that abortion is unnecessary because we have safe haven laws and an adoption system in this country. What would you say to people who say adoption is the only solution and abortion is unnecessary?
I would say adoption has not worked. We have over 120,000 foster youth nationwide that's eligible for adoption today. So if adoption was the key to solving this problem, we wouldn't have wait lists of children that are waiting for loving families in the child welfare system. The vast majority of women do not give up their children.
Yeah, that's a very important point to emphasize. I greatly appreciate you joining us and helping us trying to put the spotlight on this. It's something that requires a lot of attention. Rebecca Louve, thank you for your time this evening. Stick around for more Ayman after the break.